Yep. Cameras in focus. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, last we left off, you've completed your long journey from Meadowfen to Humblewood's capital of Alderheart. You spoke with the council, the Birdfolk Council, informing them of the spreading fires and the destruction of Ashenbarrow. Music a little bit loud. Shush, just take it. So you met with the council's head speaker, Beta, who informed you that while they are aware of the wildfires and the threat of the rain, they are primarily concerned with banditry jeopardizing the big city and essential trading hubs and such. The bandit ranks have swelled of late, and the perch guard can only be spread so thin. Beta mentioned the bandits have been rallied by a fearsome leader, making them bolder than ever. Little is known about this new leader, but the council has been able to corroborate that she is a ruthless servant woman, a dear folk, named Benna Seridan, who holds a great hatred for Alderheart. When you asked for the council's support for the refugees and such, they informed you that they prefer to remain cautious in these difficult times. The fires keep spreading after all, and if all the refugees are allowed to enter, how long before the city runs out of food and other essential resources? In the end, the council decided to confer among themselves and arranged a meeting with you, the party, again come tomorrow afternoon, to see what aid they can offer and to send to Meadowfen. They assured you that aid will be sent, but ask for your patience during these trying times. Sending a cart of supplies along bandit-ridden roads will not be easy, and any guards they send as an escort will mean less protection for Alderites. The midday sun marks noon as you exit the council chambers onto the Canopy Plaza and begin making your way back to your lodgings in the Blushing Tankard, when a curious sight catches your attention, especially Nevitz and Ashling, who previously you've spent some time looking for a location for Flick, Jep, and Kiri, the foundlings, the little German children. You were looking for a shelter for them. Let me see here. Amid the lower branches, the neighborhood terrain is a large 2-story cabin built in a C shape, hugging an expansive, beautiful garden. You see children of both birdfolk and humblefolk heritage frolic and play in the shadows and meadows. Some of the children hold hands and dance in a ring around a marble statue at the garden center. Set upon a raised stone dais, the statue features 2 figures. One is depicted as a pheasant with feathers that fade to green as they morph into plants and flowers. The other is depicted as a hedgehog carrying a rose in one hand and holding a large dragonfly in the other, to which they appear to be speaking to. A bed of yellow roses, flecked with dew, surrounds the statue base. You see words engraved into the statue's base, large font, you can read it from this distance. The rose only blooms thanks to the many kindnesses of the soil. Respect the earth and her gifts. Share what you can with those in need, and always live with compassion in your heart. You also see few adults supervising these children. Some of them have younglings sit in the grass and listen as they read tales from books or entertain them with prestidigitation and fireworks that they cast out of their hands. A few of the older kids lead children in a fine line as they guide them through daily tasks such as collecting dew water from Alderheart's large leaves, tending to the garden's vegetables, and giving a helping hand to carry food from the market indoors. You stand there. Before you is a wrought iron sign decorated that decorates the open gate of this institution. The sign reads, Mother Thistle's Foundlings House of Henwin and Hanera. What do you wish to do?
Should we, can I take, I'm going to take Nevitz by the hand and approach the gate.
I'll follow after him, behind him.
You approach the gate. The gate itself is open.
Okay. Oh no, the music changed.
Ooh, for initiative.
Roll for initiative, actually.
Get stabbed by a bunch of homeless children.
Oh, no.
Yes, my favorite pastime.
Actually, roll for initiative.
No, I'm just 100% joking.
Okay.
I'm just loading stuff on my end. As you proceed through the gates and walk through this lush meadow that seems to grow on a patch of soil that has been cupped in the branches of Alderheart itself, a floor bed in the branches. You walk through the meadows, past the statue of the two figures. You see a hedgehog woman in her late years of life. She sits in the grass with a group of children with her. The children concentrate as they work quill and thread through canvas fabric secured to these wooden embroidery hoops, each cross-stitching minute but detailed images of nature and animals. The elder woman has these tough quills that are covered with a cream-colored headdress. She wears a pleasantly sky blue summer dress that's stained green near the bottom from days working in her garden, and a loose tunic that flows and fits easily over her quills. Despite her apparent sturdiness, the woman seems rather at peace, offering kind words of encouragement to the children as they work, and upon seeing you approach, offers you a meek little smile. With a most empathetic voice, she says, "Come, sit down. You look tired. I'll have one of the children fetch you some water, and you can tell me, how can old Thistle help you today?" I have an image for old Thistle. There you go.
Oh, she's pretty.
The kind-hearted hedgehog introduces herself as Mother Thistle. As you sit down, you are brought a few simple cups of water. What do you wish to do?
I thank her for her and the child that brought the water kindly.
What brings you here today?
We found a trio of orphaned, I'm gonna call them gerbils.
Yes?
Down in, was it the lower market or the mid market?
Have you brought them here with you? Oh.
No, but I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about this place, and if there were perhaps, if this would perhaps be a place that they could find refuge, as they're just, they're very young and they're just wandering around the market, just taking to survive, and we're very concerned about them.
Certainly, she points toward all throughout. You see, it's sort of built like a mansion almost. You would imagine it would be equipped with the modest necessities, kitchen, beds, for both staff and children. It's nestled amid Alderheart's lower branches and kind of naturally weaves into it. The orphanage features a building large enough to house its many occupants. All throughout, she tells you of her staff and how they tend to earth, root, and flower, and teach these lessons to the children as they during the stay until they're old enough to lead their own lives. She points to the shrine of the two Amaranthines, Henwin and Hanera, which is raised at the garden center, where you see a few of the children actually pray in solace. She tells you of the joys of reward and hard work, as well as play, as she points toward the many woodland creatures and large insects that make their home in this garden and seem to live harmoniously with the orphans. Some make for pets, others aid with the daily tasks. You see a few of these beetles just carrying like buckets on their backs as they crawl past. I accept those who have nowhere else to go. These children, I treat them as my own. For many years now, I've been doing this. I think this is why I've earned the nickname Mother Theresa. Thistle. Mother Theresa?
Teresa?
Mother Thistle.
Thistle.
It's
So-
just, mhm.
Would you mind if we brought them here? Because I don't want to just take them and leave them here. But do you mind if we ask them, show them this place, see if it's someplace that they'd want to be?
She nods, and for the sake of narrative and expediency, I can say that one of you can go ahead and fetch them and bring them back here. In the meantime, if you wish to send one of you guys out there, or if you wish to all go, you can go.
I think it's best if we all go, just because better not to split.
Well, for expediency's sake, I think it'd be better if only one person went, because that way we can say we came and went.
Okay.
Sure. Who among you wishes to venture to where you last saw Flick and his brother and sister?
I'll go get them.
Okay. As Aisling makes for the gate and, Mother Thistle waves you, I'll be seeing you soon. I'm looking forward to seeing the little ones. She turns to the rest of you, and throughout more conversation, she takes a very special interest at Nevitz. I mean, after all, you are a child. Her and several children approach you and start to socialize, in the way kids do, showing off various trinkets that they found, shinies and simple mundane things like, oh, look at this is called sweet root, and you can see it's like a root with like a bite already out of it. It's like, you want to try some? And it's like orange on the inside and it's leaking this like sappy juice, and it's like, it's really good.
I'd love to try some.
Yeah.
Just hands you to it. It's not cleaned off or anything. It just has a little bit of soil in it. This kid just has like dirt around his mouth, like from just binding it. Mother Thistle just approaches him, just like wipes his mouth, like, "Oh, come now."
I gained like mommy fever watching this.
See, like a little hedge girl shyly approach Nevitz and show him her like closed, like up like this. I don't know if you can see my camera, like her palm,
Yeah.
and she has something kept there, and she seems to close, and she's like, "You want to see?
I nod my head excitedly.
Don't be shy now. Say hi." And she opens her palm, and you first thing you see is these two like whiskery things, as like a palm-sized cockroach just crawls forward and just goes. I found him. I haven't named him yet. It's just like crawling around on her like hand.
Do we know the species
Cockroach.
by chance?
Just-
Oh, cockroach. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a large African cockroach. I don't know. It's a cockroach.
That's cool.
Just crawls around on her hand. Goes on her face. It tickles, and she just takes it back.
I look around real quick just to see if there's like any of my kind, like any weasel.
Yeah, there's both bird folk and humble folk. You look around, you see a young Vulpin boy who looks around. He seems to like notice you guys, got really excited, went back inside, and is now bringing some of his friends. And when he arrives back, he seems disappointed. He's like, "Oh, where did she go? The one with the tails. She was pretty. I was gonna show my friends." Just droops his ears a little bit. Droops his ears a little bit.
Because weasels have a very skinny tail.
She'll be back. I assure him kindly. She'll be right back.
You're looking for others of your species. Yeah, there's a little girl. She seems kind of shy. She's chilling under like a tree shade, and she seems to be immersed in her own book and kind of staying away from the other kids. She has that same pattern that you have with that mask that raccoon folk have. Moppox that seems to like go brown, white, and then a few lines along her face, and she just seems to be immersed in this book and really enjoying it and in her own world. Two of the kids approach you, kind of like whisper to one another before one of the kids approaches Rollo and is like, "Are you a real pirate?"
Yes, I am.
"I want to be a pirate when I grow up."
I kind of like take out my rapier and I like hold it out to him for him to like hold with.
He's like, just flash tween peaks, like, "I want to hold it."
Yeah, I get okay. I mean, I'll look to the mother and I'm like, "Is it okay if I do? Because it's like a sharp thing."
Mother Thistle is busy with the other kids. Turns around, it's like, "Oh my, please don't. That's quite sharp. It's one thing to wield a quill. It's another thing to wield a weapon." Like, right?
Okay, I take down my hat. And
maybe one day, young one. Maybe one day, but. Let's keep our swords sheathed, shall we? After all, this is a peaceful place.
I give him my hat and I give him like a wing, and I give him like a kid rub on the head.
Sure thing. Ashling, as you go to the lower market, you find yourself amid those refugee tents and all that may kind of circumvent and meld with the lower tree market. And Flick and his brother and sister are still there. You find them like outside their tent. They seem to be playing with the coins you guys gave them. They have like a gold coin making some sort of goal line, and then they're tossing coppers at it, trying to like score it. Just playing with the coins, being children.
I approach them and I go up to Kiri and I kneel down in front of her and I'm like, "Hi, sweetie. Remember how I said I was gonna try and see if I could find you guys somewhere to sleep that wasn't the street?"
Yeah.
Well, I think I found somewhere really, really nice. Do you guys want to come check it out with me?
Yeah? Okay. She's like swings really excited. You can see she's holding onto like a little rag doll, and like the legs just go like swinging back and forth. She's like very excited, and yeah, like unless you want to do anything else, still, you want to just say like if they follow you there.
Let's do that.
Sure, yeah. Like Kiri takes your hand and just kind of like skips beside you as the boys just sort of very quickly, they've been used to packing. They very quickly assemble their tent into a little neat package, bundle up. One of them holds the bag with a coin. The older one holds the tent, and they maneuver with you. And eventually, you see Aisling walk with them as Mother Thistle goes, "Ah, there they are, precious little things. Come, don't be shy. I don't bite. These old things, they're soft to touch here. You can just." And, she has a way with children. I don't. She does.
I want to collect some flowers that smell good.
Sure. You start looking around for flowers. You don't have to roll for it; they're everywhere. All matter of color, shape, and scent. And as you start picking a few, some of the children join you, and are like, "Oh, that one is really nice." Now, and this one. One of the kids, like, the older one's like, "If you pick that one, we'll make quite the composition."
Oh my god.
You pick a handful of flowers. Some of the kids will not let you, unless you force yourself onto the flowers, will not let you pick certain flowers, being like, "No, those ones they're special and they're not ready yet." They seem to be speaking from knowledge, like they've been trained in this herbology and taking care of these flowers. You gotta, are you looking for anything specific, or just like a few wheat flowers, like a few pretty ones?
Just pretty flowers that smell nice.
Sure. Mother Thistle goes, after she makes acquaintance with the little ones, she goes, "I take my time to teach the young to be one with the forest. We are all connected to the great rhythm. Even those among us that suffered by nature's hand may yet be gifted by it, by the natural world. I teach my children how to harness these gifts and live at peace with one's community." And she passes a hand very gently over the petals of one of the flowers you're holding, Nevitz. The petals are closed in a little bulb, and then she passes her hand over them, just kind of blooms open.
I am very impressed. I was like, ooh. Can you teach me to do that?
Certainly. It will take some time. Most of the children around here have been here for years, and not everybody has mastered the connectivity with nature, but should you be interested, I'll tell you what, we'll get to that. It is actually just about time for lunch. If you'd like to join us, we'd be happy to show you inside.
I look
Lunch
over to
sounds
Ashling
good.
and Nevitz as if I'm waiting for permission.
Aren't you, Nevitz?
Hmm?
You just asked yourself for permission.
I said I was looking towards Ashling and Rollo.
No, you said
Oh,
David.
you said Nevitz.
Did I say Nevitz?
Moving on, guys. Moving on. Haha,
Look, I
funny.
just woke
Moving
up.
on, yeah.
I just woke up.
I'm operating in 2 hours of sleep, so bear with all of us.
Come now, Nevitz. Why don't we go get some food?
Mm-hmm.
I kneel back down to Kiri and I said, "So what do you think? Is this going to be a good place? Should we go have some food and see how the food tastes?"
Their face
Yeah, sure.
keeps shifting between the flowers that Nevis is holding and yours, and the frill of your tails as they wag about, and she seems to be very overexcited. There's a lot of new things around here, and she's like, "I really like this place. Look at them. Friends, maybe. I like it." And she seems very content with this, and upon hearing that there's food, she's like, "I really want to eat, yeah." And Thistle promises them food and a bath, and we'll make rooms for them. Kiri can, was it Kiri? Kiri can stay with I have a few girl troops who stay in the upper lofts. The boys can, we'll find them places. She has a way of organizing stuff. She'll have to talk to a few staff and whatnot. When she starts, she offers her hand to Kiri, offers her hand to the other little boy whose name I'm forgetting, Jep, and Flick. He's independent. He's the oldest of the bunch. He carries his stuff with him as they make their way, venturing inside. Do you wish to follow? Do you wish to stick around here? What do you guys wish to do? It's up to you guys.
I want to make sure that they. Sorry.
I'm down for the group decides to do. I'm like easy going.
I want to make sure that that they settle in properly.
Sure. So,
Let's fall inside.
um, as you venture into the large cabin, you come to a central dining area. Let me show you. Actually, I have a handout. Look at that. You come to like a central dining area where several tables have been set for lunchtime. Resting on the table is an area of food amid lit candles. You see fresh baked pies, cheese, bread buns, fish, honey, jam, milk, fruit juice, and garden vegetables, with more food being brought out of the kitchen and beyond. Whoever is financing this place must be loaded. You're not quite sure. You're like looking around. There's no like family sigils or like noble banners. They're like, this is the house of this and this. But this place gets funding from somewhere for sure. Above you, you see a wooden balcony wreathed with decorative dried forest mushrooms, garlic, and aromatic herbs and the like. You see two children lean over the railing, kind of wave as they watch you as you proceed further inside. You see a large hearth that provides this pleasant heat, and a pot of tea that simmers softly above the fire. Hung on the wall above the hearth is a long wooden carving featuring the Amaranthine of the sun, Ardea, the great mother of all gods, so to speak. All throughout, you see children help the adults set chairs along the tables. Some already helped themselves to food, sat down, and after a short prayer began dining. If you wish to join, I will count this as like a short rest for those of you who need it. There's food about, you can help yourselves. It seems that everybody's bringing stuff in and helping themselves. It's a very communal kind of feel to it.
Sure, let's sit down. I sit down next to Kiri and chat with her, and I also make sure to feed Flair, who's been on my shoulder most of this time.
As Mother Thistle passes by behind you, she gives Flair a little like, "Oh, you're a cutie," and Flair says something back in bat, like a little squeak, and she's like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, that's been quite an adventure, hasn't it?" Squeak some more, and she's like, "Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that." And Mother Thistle just keeps on walking. You get a sense that she can speak to animals, apparently. Flick, Jep, and Kiri sit beside you, and Kiri's making like this like mound. She's taking like bread slices, jam, another bread slice, cheese, another bread slice, just making this like cake of a sandwich. And she's like, so much food. Squish it, and you just like jump off the side. She's like, yay. And then she's like, she doesn't know what to do with it. She's like, can you cut this for me?
Sure, hun. Give that to me here, and I'll cut it up.
It's just the messiest sandwich you've ever gotten.
I figure my way through, and I cut it down to bite-sized pieces for
Thanks.
her, and I put it back on her plate.
By the time you're done cutting it into cubes, it's like less of a sandwich and more of like a bread salad. But yummy, yummy.
She's not gonna choke on it. Well, she probably looks sticky enough, but freak.
The rest of the children help us up as well. Eventually, as you guys settle down, you see children come and pass. They kind of head from upstairs down the steps, grab a plate. Some of them just bring the plate with them into the rooms because they want to, everybody comes from different backgrounds. Some children are communal and already makes friends. Other children are still kind of getting used to it. Wherever they came from, probably lost their parents recently or still not used to this orphanage. They just want to be alone and take the plate with them to their room.
Well, I remember what it's like to want to be alone.
What?
What? What was that, Nevin?
Nothing.
Nothing? That's right. Good.
Okay. As a thanks for bringing Flick, Jap, and Kiri to the orphanage, eventually Mother Thistle. Everywhere, by the way, in my notes, everywhere I type Mother Thistle, Google immediately autocorrected to Mother Teresa, which is why I said Mother Teresa, because it's everywhere in my notes now. Mother Thistle offers you a few spare beds here to spend your night, if on the condition that perhaps you can help around a little, if you don't mind. It is, after all, community I have being run here. I can supply you with pins to mark you as volunteers in the orphanage, which will allow you free passage throughout the city's checkpoints, day and night.
What do you guys think?
Of course. What's a little bit of labor?
Oh, it's not how it works at all. We make it sound. So it's only, and she kind of like points toward the ever piling up pile of dishes that is slowly mounding up in the kitchen sink that you can see through the doorway. It's like, just a little bit.
I can handle that. Oh, Nevitz, finish your meal, little one. We'll be done that in no time at all.
Much obliged.
I get up to go and help Pavo.
Yeah, as you guys get up, Mother Thistle, she looks onto the children and says, "Come now, I'll show you to your rooms." She kind of summons a few of her staff members. She seems to be running the place around here. This owl lady and another Vulpin lady come. They're both dressed in this like green uniform with like an apron over, and they help the children up the stairs and into their rooms. While you guys take various tasks, just help around, be it clean up the dishes or help set the tables back. You're shown around. You see the same girl from outside before, the one that was sitting beneath the tree. Now that it's getting dark, she can't reach, so she's trying to like look around, find like a lit spot. Finds one in the corner, like sits down on the couch found there, and adjust a lantern that you can see. The lantern contains a few fireflies in it. She just like adjusts it so she can read it. She just sits down and reads her book. What? What's funny?
Oh, you could hear me laughing? Oh shit. I was laughing at my girlfriend, sorry.
Okay. As the evening darkens the sky, children walk around setting candles all throughout, illuminating the place. What do you guys wish to do as evening begins to settle?
If we're settling, then I'd like to, with a candle in by my bed, I'd like to continue reading the herbs book that I've been reading through the chapters of.
Again, as you settle to your rooms, you put down your stuff, your bag, and you look around. I mean, this place is pretty modest, pretty pristine. Clean sheets made from fine fabrics, and feels like a 4-star hotel, if you want a comparison. You open up a book on herbs and stuff. I'm gonna say, for the sake of expediency, you read on the local herbs of the forest and whatnot, and next time, if you want to perform any like nature checks or like survival checks that involve herbology, I'll give you advantage on that roll.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do you have that in your notes, or do I need to write it in my sheet somewhere?
I prefer it if you write in your sheet. I'll remember, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, like. Yes.
Do they have any special candles, or maybe like bioluminescent like flowers that they're using to light up the place?
They seem to be lighting the place with candles, these lanterns that contain either these fireflies or this same slimy muck that seems to kind of move on its own, and it is bioluminescent. You recognize this from the Mockton caverns. You actually fought these slimes, but these ones seem to be alive and just kind of entrapped in these like terrariums, and as they bloop about, they glow, pulse, and provide this greenish bluish light. Mostly used for like night lights, like like the ones that you put for children at night so they can find their way to the bathroom or something like that. They're kind of like that soft, dim light. Yeah. It's really up to you guys if you wish to still head out to town at this point, or do you want to settle for the night?
I don't really need to, like, I don't need a rest. I don't need to regenerate anything.
We should head back to town because we told the council like where our inn was, where we would be staying for the night. They're gonna be expecting us
Tomorrow evening.
Where am I supposed to write it in the sheet? I'm actually not sure where to put it.
Under you could, like, Hunter puts stuff under features. He just adds a feature and writes it because you can just look at it. Really anywhere convenient to you that you will know it's there. Honestly, I'll remember.
I'd say if it's not like terribly super important, just go to bio and just plop it in your allies and organizations or.
I want to remember because you said so. I get advantage on nature rolls. Is what you said, right?
Nature or survival rolls that involve herbs and stuff. You can just get an advantage, like a one-time advantage, because you've read. Oh, I've read a chapter about this. That one time arrested. Just opening to see if there's anything else special about that book. Fantastic herbs and where to find them. 4th edition, but Tender Society. Right. Bavarad, appended pages from when we reach book bindery, identify native fungus growth with hallucinogenic effect. Intelligence checks made to see what he might know on the subject are made with advantage. See, I just keep notes here in this little handout, so yeah. I'll just keep this window open on my end.
I added it to my features. I called it Herbal Advantage.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Essentially, reading this book, you also get a better understanding of the Tender Society. There's this circle of druids that live here in Humblewood that serve to heal the forest. You've actually met one of them. You've met Sage, that fuzzy, barely can see her eyes, white fuzzy chick. Yeah. It points to a few salves and herbs you might find in the market. A little pricey, but should you find yourself acquiring a herbology kit and the materials required, you also are now aware of how to make healing potions. Simple ones, more complex ones, they will cost more and require rarer ingredients. That might be hard to find, but possible. But for sure, like smaller healing potions, you have the knowledge how to craft them. All you need is a herbalism kit and the ingredients.
Yeah, because I have some healing potion ingredients, but last time I tried, I couldn't make them. I couldn't make it into a potion. I failed. Because
you were using the wrong kit. You were using the alchemist supplies that Nevets has, and those are not quite tools you need for healing potions.
So I can purchase a herbalist kit?
Yes.
Tool kit?
Yeah. The Tender Society speaks of the herbalism kit. Give me 5 seconds here, because I don't want to lie to you.
I just want to know how expensive it is.
It is not very expensive at all. The kit contains a variety of instruments such as clippers, mortar and pestle, pouches and vials used for herbalists, by herbalists rather, to create remedies and potions. Usually goes for 5 gold pieces for a kit that will last your lifetime essentially. It's the ingredients typically go for most. The rule of thumb in D&D, when you want to make something and you have the tools to make it, the cost of making it is half the item's cost in materials. So if a healing potion is 50 gold pieces, to craft it, you need to spend 25 gold pieces in materials to make it. So you're saving half. It's an investment. But we'll get there. Also, proficiency helps with success, but even if you're not proficient, you can use them. Just proficiency makes it easier. All right. Pavo, Nevitz, Rolo, Anything from you guys? Or are we just
No.
No, don't think so.
calling a night?
Yep.
Sure.
Basically.
You go to bed, falling asleep. Sorry, I'm just skipping a lot of content that was meant for Chunko. That's fine. As night settles and the city becomes illuminated by starlight, you fall asleep. Sometime
Oh my
around
God.
what?
I was gonna, I was gonna ask Mother Thistle if I could have one of the jars of the slime, but never mind.
We could say in retrospect, you get a gut feeling that you might be able to get away with just taking one. But do you want to ask or do you want to take one? It's your choice.
I think Nevitz would ask here.
Sure. So you approach on a Thistle, making your query. Go ahead and just roll persuasion unless you want to role play this, and I'll make another roll if depending on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I ask roll persuasion.
Sure. She looks at your minute stature and your puppy eyes. You're looking up at her, begging for one of these precious little lanterns. Should we make the roll and I didn't see it?
Oh, wait, my bad.
Okay. You just melt her heart. She's like, "Oh, of course, we can spare one. We can always get some more from yeah, you can go ahead." And she reaches for one that was kind of sort of out of your reach, takes it off the hook, checks that, the thing. Just be sure to feed it from time to time. It's yours.
What does it eat?
They eat like garbage. They're like bottom feeders. They clean the cavern usually. They will either eat like dead lichen or like dead matter or dry leaves. They're like they're bottom feeders
And in other words, Nevitz, you can feed my cold dead corpse to it when I die.
Okay.
I look horrified.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say warm.
Yeah.
Heavens. And that's all she says
It's
before
not-
she just turns back into the kitchen,
That's
just
excellent.
waddling back.
All right, now we can go back to our tavern.
Pick Nevitz up. By the leg. Little kids like that. Right?
I don't want to be dangling upside down.
Do you like this, Nevitz? As he's dangling upside
Stop
down.
it.
Okay.
No, stop it.
You can get on my arm, you little bugger.
Much better.
Do you feel tall?
I'm the tallest person.
Yes, you are, Nevitz. The tallest bird ever.
You back yet? Oh, she's muted herself. It's very unfortunate. I hate it. People just step away. Just go beforehand.
What? Sorry, were you guys waiting for me?
No,
No,
we're
we're
waiting
in
for
the
Sasha.
room.
She stepped away for a second.
Sorry, I was adding all the items from the kit into my bag.
Oh, also, I forgot to ask. Are you guys staying at the big name? Oh, it's because I have chapter 1 open. That's why. Are you guys staying at the foundling house of Hanwin and Hanara? Or are you guys heading
I
out?
think that works because we'll wake up in the morning. So
You're back?
Yes, sorry.
As you guys settle for the night into your beds, and Nevitz puts the little blob lantern that he has that undulates this green bluish hue as the nightlight. You fall asleep. It is about 2 o'clock, 2 past midnight, when you hear a citywide alarm sounding, rousing you from your sleep, rousing perch guards to their posts. Following the commotion, you see a great movement past the windows, around coming from the northern entrance to the section of Alderheart. There are shouts all throughout. Bandits! 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 And something about a merchant caravan arriving at the city. What do you do?
I go on the hunt for blood. I pull Nevis with me.
Waking up a bit disheveled. First
Disheveled?
thing I do.
I'm pulling you by the leg, little man.
Let him talk, man.
Very disheveled. First thing I do is check to make sure my diamond has not been stolen again. I have. I'm practically traumatized. By
You reach a reflex saving for it, and you feel that solid.
Bulge.
I don't want to say bulge. You feel the bulge of the sack. I was like, don't say bulge any word. I can't think right now.
Solid stone.
Rolo, you're sleeping with like your pirate cap and feather like resting above your eyes. You hear this like alarm outside, these bells and people shouting, and as you just go, as you're halfway through the thing you had, you hear something shatters the window and just right beside you, and you see it's like a crossbow arrow. It just like wobbles there. What do you do?
Panic.
Panic!
The pirate panics?
Well,
I was relaxing, and I sit up. Like, I frantically grab for my boots and all that.
As you finally start putting one boot after the other, you sniff around. You smell soot and smoke on the air, and you look out the window, and you can see the orange blaze of fire in the distance, and a rising of smoke down the street. Ashling, you see this too out of your window. You see several perch guard run down the street, clashing with a few more figures further out, about 200 feet down the street. What do you guys all do?
I get up and I go out into the hall and I see if I can find Miss Thistle.
As you venture out to the hall looking for Mother Thistle, you see that most of the children are raised from their beds, and the staff is working to get them to shelter and downstairs into the cellars and stuff. Mother Thistle seems to be leading them all. Is like, hurry now, hurry, hurry, hurry. She doesn't seem to raise her voice, but still with a commanding sort of presence. She motions with one hand while keeping a spell on the door behind her that leads to the outside. And you see around the door frame these like roots have weaved themselves and vines have interlaced, locking themselves in place, securing the door, as she motions for the staff and the children to come downstairs and down. What do you do?
Can I help her? Can I like pick up smaller children, just help the building?
Sure, a few of the children still like holding on to like their blankets that are dragging behind them on their little feet. They're like, as disheveled as Nevis, just barely keeping their eyes open, very confused. Some of them crying. You pick two of them, one beneath each arm, and you proceed to follow the staff and hand a child one by one to the staff as she takes them and secures them in a cellar essentially.
I walk hurriedly up to Mother Thistle. That's it.
Thistle, like
We'll go with Thistle.
like the flower, yeah.
Yeah, Thistle. Mother Thistle, and I hurriedly ask her if she knows what's going on.
It looks like we're under attack. I don't understand. The guard, and she seems to be as confused as you are. I just heard the shouts. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that everybody here is safe.
I look out a window near the door and see if I can see any figures and see where the commotion is coming from.
Roll me like a perception check just to see how much you can see through the smoke and chaos, and you see shapes blur past the window. You're not sure if they're perch guard or somebody else. You hear the clashing of metal on metal swords, and like a rock clinks against the glass, almost shattering it. Somebody's slinging the rock. With 12 perception, you see the platform before the building faces the city's northmost gate to this section of the city. You are faced with a dismal scene looking out. You see several wagons are being besieged by a massive bandit force. You recognize the bandits by their like yellowish bands with that symbol. It's like a fox with two swords, more like a Jolly Roger kind of symbol. And several of them are wearing bandana, and they're wielding like cutlasses and stuff, or like slings and stuff. And they're just sieging the city, making their way toward where you are. They're about 200 feet out right now.
I go to find Nevitz and Pavo and before I do that, I ask Mother Thistle if there's a way out onto the roof of the building.
But she's not here, right?
What, Mother Thistle? Mother Thistle's right in front of you guys. She's holding like the door.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Before I go find
okay.
Pavo and Nevitz, I ask her if there's a way onto the roof.
Yeah,
of this
yeah,
building.
it's just right, and she points toward like the spiral staircase that seems to kind of naturally form around Elder Hearts itself. It leads up, and there's like a little trap door that leads to the roof garden, and the branches of Elder Heart beyond it are like a leap away, and then you can kind of maneuver your way down to the street from there.
I go to find. I see that Rolo is helping out with the children. I go to find Nevitz and Pavo and motion them towards the path to the roof.
Oh, I'm already on my way to the roof.
Where are you, Pavo?
On my way to the roof.
Perfect. Where's Nevitz?
I'm following you guys.
Follow. So we
If
make
I'm
our way
having
onto
trouble
the roof.
Okay. You see that same dismal scene that you saw before. Like you see several wagons are being besieged by massive bandit force. Assembled to oppose them down the street, you see a squad of perch guard just swoop to intercept, led by Magnus Rod, Pava's brother. Just sees like gleaming armor and like his spears like adorned with like the Elder Heart like banner. As he just swings and just incapacitates one bandit after the other, just fighting off, blocking strikes. Seems to be in the middle of a skirmish. The bandit force is slowly pushing their way
How
towards
good of a
us.
view do we have from the roof?
You see about 200 feet all around before the foliage starts to grow too thick to see beyond.
How many bandit targets can we make out from the roof?
It's a horde of them. You start to count, you get to 24 and you give up.
Could I start shooting arrows?
Yeah, for sure. You describe your action. I don't want to describe it for you.
I get up on the roof. I plant my toad down, facing the battle. He likes it. He's a sadist, you know.
He likes to watch.
Okay.
You see the fire in his eyes as he starts to anyway. And then I take out my bow, and I just start loosing arrows into bandits.
Just like Legolas at a lower ring, just arrows start flying. You nail one in like a shoulder run, and the sheer force of the arrow just like knocks him around and like right into the halberd of like a perch guard who was swinging at him. It just like knocks him out. Another arrow flies past your brother. Like Magnus just like he's fighting and just goes right past him. Looks is like, brother, good shooting. You there, those of you armed and armored, help repel the bandits. The rest of you, take shelter. He looks at Nevis. He doesn't know like you do magic. He's like, come now, it's dangerous to be outside. And he keeps on fighting. Magnus, hope you're still as good of a shot as I remember, brother. Put that longbow to good use. And he's struggling against like this really big, brutish guy that you actually recognize. One of his ears has been
24 hit.
singed off. Yeah, one of his ears has been singed off, and you see like his face is scarred by fire. The fur on his shoulders is also like scarred and scathed and charred. It's that rat folk, the big guy that you just set on fire with that oil, remember?
Yes. I remember.
24 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. The way we're gonna do this, I'm gonna have the group act first, and then they act. No point in rolling initiative. Band force, you guys back and forth kind of thing.
Tall is the roof of this building?
It is about 30 feet tall. It's every floor is 15 foot high, and you've made it to the top of the building, so 30 feet off the ground.
I just wanted to see if it was high enough that I couldn't use my whip, which it is.
You have to get within like semi-melee range for your whip.
My whip only has a... No, does it have a range of 15? Sorry.
It has a range of
Roll
15.
20 wasn't stopped working for me, so I can't see the stats coming my stuff.
It's very unfortunate.
Can I like jump? I'm gonna like jump down on one of the bandits by surprise.
Looking
So, like, go
at...
on the-
Yeah, I'll just hand you your turn. It's 15 feet of range for you, for your whip.
15.
Yes.
So I can't use my whip from the roof, and I don't have that many arrows for my short bow.
There are a few bandits that are like making the way towards you guys. You'll just have... You can hold your action if you wish, if any of them come close. But yeah, their bandits are still being held back by the purge cart for now. Also remember, you have a fire whip that can shoot like fireballs, right?
I can what?
So it's a shame you don't have roll 20 up, because it really helps when you have it up.
I'm trying to get it back up because it crashed on me.
Oh wait, I have my thing, my gunpowder thing.
You have your whip, best by Juju, the lizard folk shaman, remember? As an action, you can cause the whip to ignite with flickering flame. The flames remain for the duration of like 10 minutes and harm neither you nor your equipment. It sheds light, and you can dismiss it as an action. You can also attack with the flames, although doing so ends the spell. Either on the turn you first ignited the whip, or on a subsequent turn, you can just whoosh the whip, and it sends like a flame ball hurling like 30 feet away.
And that would be my action, yes?
It will be the same action as igniting it, yes. It's the same.
Why can't I access my log sheet? I open it up, and it either lets me... I was having
You
that, so
figure
I
that
have
out.
my
I'll go to
open
Rollo.
or the
I'll go to
discussion.
Rollo in
It
the
wouldn't let
meantime.
me open both.
While you figure that out. So Rollo, what did you say you were gonna... What? Uh-huh?
If we're on the building, I want to jump down by surprise it because like I only have a close range weapon.
It's
so I
30
can
feet down. You can certainly jump down, and I'll make you make me
I have a rope.
acrobatics check to see if you can land on top of a bandit from 30 feet up and just use him as a cushion. There are branches about you can leap between, or just Pavo's rope. It's up to you.
Yep.
You're jumping from a very tall height. You're like 3 stories up.
You want to swing like a pirate again?
yeah, sure.
Great. I tie a rope to an arrow and I pin it to a branch. Go swing, my child.
Do I roll athletics or
So
acrobatics?
what? Describe your actions. I'll tell you what to roll.
Well, I'm gonna. If he ties down the rope, I'll use it to swing down, kind of like Tarzan way, and land.
Okay.
directly.
So as he ties the rope to an arrow, loosens it, you see it fly, arc a little bit, into like a nearby branch. You're still holding onto the rope. You tie it taut to yourself and swing Tarzan style. Go ahead and roll like it's gonna be like acrobatics to like land and aim. It's like it's a very dexterous leap. With 16, yeah, you managed to leap right on top of one of the bandits. Go ahead and roll that rapier strike if you're striking with your rapier or whatever it is you're hitting with.
If that lands.
A 12. The 12 just hits. Just thanks to the sheer momentum of your swing, you manage to pierce his kind of thick leather armor right through the shoulder and goes ah as you pin him to the ground for 7 damage. He looks very much hurt, this guy of yonder.
Okay, that's good.
Right. So this is you and him. I don't have a map for this, sorry guys. But yeah. Where's my man? Where's Magnus? There he is. Yeah,
Fighting the rat.
Yeah, let's put Magnus and the rat together, and this guy's just like he's somewhere. All right. So that was that. Ashton, did you figure stuff out?
I'm trying. It won't work on my laptop, so I'm trying to see if I can get it
Just describe.
working on my.
Do you vaguely remember what you have on you? I can access your sheet and help you out.
It wouldn't even let me access my sheet.
I can access your sheet, but do you remember what you had on it?
Yeah.
Just describe your action. Yeah.
So, Rolo has jumped down. Pavo, you're still on the roof?
Doing what I do best.
Mm-hmm.
Hunting vermin.
Sharpshooter. And Nevitz, is Nevitz still on the roof?
Yes.
Yep. I haven't done anything yet.
I'm going to attempt to jump down and follow Rolo down to help the ground troops there.
So again, you guys are like 3 stories up. How are you jumping down? Are you just straight up trying to like aim for like a cushion below, like a haystack or like a fellow bandit, or are you using the branches? Or are you just free falling?
I'm gonna have my way down using the tree.
Okay, sure. So it's gonna be like it's gonna be like acrobatics to just maneuver dexterously. Go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and rule that for you, I guess. Thankfully, you're very much acrobatic. With a +4, you rolled a 9. You jump between branch to branch.
+4.
Yeah. You branch to branch, hitting the mic, leaping off, and you are about 10 feet off the ground. As you let go, the landing is very awkward, and you slip a little bit, and you feel something crack painfully around the ankle area. You just take the 1d6 like bludgeoning damage from the fall, 4 damage. Do you only have 11 health? Jesus Christ. Oh. Right. So you take some damage from the awkward landing, but you still have your movement.
Alright.
As you land next to Roller, right? You said.
What?
You land next to Roller, you said, right?
Well, near him.
Near Rollo, her, and another bandit who seems to be pinned by her rapier, as another bandit seems to be charging in. He has like a short sword in one hand made of bone and like a dagger behind him, and he seems to just whirl about fairly and charge toward you.
I take out my whip and jumping down was my action, wasn't it?
No, jumping down is just your movement.
I take out my whip to defend myself against the unit that's attacking me or charging me.
Sure. Do you want to like whip him, or do you want to use the fire function of it?
It's just on fire, isn't it?
Yeah, you can ignite it as an action, and as part of the same action, you can throw the flame and de-ignite it. What's de-ignite? Because that's not a word. Extinguish. As you throw it flaming.
I'd like to ignite it, and just use my whip normally.
You have no spell attack bonus, so you just roll d20 for that. 17 hits. You whip him for that sweet fire damage that just scathes him right in the center of the chest, leaving a burn mark that spreads out as the whip connects for 2 fire damage. Seems to stumble a little bit on his charge. You slowed him down a little bit. Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
No. I'm sorry, I'm half distracted because I whipped out another laptop and all of a sudden it's deciding to change half the letters into numbers and I don't know why.
I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, so the last one on this turn order then is Nevitz. What do you do?
Yep. Is there any? There's no bandits on the roof with us, right?
Not yet.
Is there anyone climbing the building?
Do me like a perception check as you look around. Perception or it's perception. It's not an investigation. That'll be different. Yeah. Natural 20. You look below as Magnus seems to shake off the big guy off him for a little bit, cleave and run deeper in the fray before re-engaging with the big guy. You look below and you see a handful of bandits, captains, and they're just captains barking orders at dozens of other bandits that are attacking the caravans. The caravans are far out from the building. They're nowhere near you, and they seem to be focused on them for now. Their numbers quickly overwhelming anyone who comes near, picking off scattered perch guard here and there and pushing toward the fray elevators in order to make their way up toward the canopy. So it seems to be that their target is not this orphanage, but higher up.
Right. Okay. I'll
Do you have any
I'll just-
creative solutions for supporting Elder Heart's forces? Go ahead.
Not exactly.
Do you have the throw spell?
Catapult?
No.
Yeet.
No.
Do you have catapult? Damn it, because I have 2,000 ball bearings.
This is like I should have played this during Roll's turn. This is like Roll's theme.
I'll cast a just a chaos bolt at one of the bandits in this horde.
Chaos Bolt is. Go ahead and cast it because I can look at it. That's the one where like you rolled the 8, right?
Yeah.
Show
You
us
blow
both.
up your left finger.
Yeah, that's the one. I actually made a more. You roll under massive chaotic energy at one target and make a ranged attack. Especially, I'm gonna have you roll me a d100. As you charge up the spell, you begin to feel the energy undulating in your hands and the crackle, and it shrinks before it goes blows out. Go ahead and roll that 100 as magic surge just explodes out. I still held out to that one from like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, is it? Am I rolling from the magic?
Magic
surge
surge, do 1d100 yet. Just what it says there. I'm glad you used the macro. For a few seconds after this explosion from your hands, everything goes silent before you start hearing this very eerie, like music boxy music that only you seem to hear for now.
Oh,
I hope
gee.
you like Overcast and Fog.
Alright, well, that's my turn.
I just realized that
Yeah,
typing
it's-
music box music is very redundant.
No, it's descriptive because you could say you no, never mind. You could have just said you hear a music box. Yep, I'm done too.
It's a very weird contrast with this epic battle as music emanates from Nevitz.
Nevitz, did you relay what you visualized with your eyes, what you perceived?
Oh yeah, I'll say that they're all focused on where the guards are, and we should help them.
They're trying to move up higher up because they're moving towards the upper canopies.
Mhm.
Okay.
You see, this is not working. I thought it was gonna be funny, but it's actually distracting me. This music. You see, the enlarged mouse hulking thug just bash Magnus across the chest with his
Enlarged mace.
enlarged mace, for a total of 13 damage.
You killed my brother.
Killed
I'm
my
gonna
brother.
burn this tree down.
No, he's a Chad. Don't worry about it. Okay. Ashling, you see. Okay, no, this is not working. I'm going fuck this music. You get the idea.
Hey,
that
I have a
emanates.
different laptop now, and I can open everything. The only thing is when I open my character sheet, it's all blank. They're all zeros.
There's nothing on it.
That's weird.
I can't help you. I'm sorry. Kind of finding my own thing
But
here.
it's weird. I can't, like, I couldn't get it on my phone. I couldn't get it on the first laptop. Now I'm on a second laptop. I really don't feel like breaking out the third laptop.
Damn, dude.
Yes, I have 3 laptops.
At least it stops at 3.
Hey, that's what happens when you work from home for 2 jobs plus have a personal laptop.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Right. As this is all going on, Rollo, you see the bandit you've pinned, take your sword and just struggle against it as he brings himself back up onto his knees, and just take a sort of like a wicked looking dagger and goes for a swing at you. Does a... I'm gonna use spears, the same damage, whatever. Does an 11 hit you?
11, let me just triple check. 11.
I know the answer,
I'm a
but
class 12. No.
no. So you manage to either dodge it or riposte with your other blades, as he remains kind of kneeling before you. The other more wicked and agile-looking bandit charges forward toward Aisling, taking a swing at her with a short sword and a dagger. Does a 10 or 8 hit? I'm rolling shit today. You don't have your character sheet from you. Those don't hit. This is fun.
I'm trying to get it up. I reloaded it. See if that helps.
Okay, we'll try.
Blank. Why is it blank?
Give it time. Maybe it's your internet. All right. With that, Pavo and the rest of you guys.
My phone's not having any issues.
Pavo.
My phone won't click onto, like, if it leaves Wi-Fi, it will tell me. It won't do it automatically.
Okay. Pavo and the rest of you, what do you guys do? The bandits are swarming in by the horde. They seem to be overwhelming the guard, making their way up, using the fray elevators in order to make their way up toward the canopy. Do you have any like creative ways or solutions for?
I do.
Okay.
How thick is the arrow? How thick is the device? I'd like to look for a weak spot on the freight elevator pulley system.
Exactly, it's a pulley system. You can see it's just simple hempen rope that is load bearing, but because it's so taut, you figure any sharp object that will just slice through that like butter. It can hold force like this, but not like this.
I would like to not like this, that rope.
Yeah. Go ahead and aim for that. It's a very narrow target, but you feel confident.
I take my bow. I place the bottom of it on top of the toad cage, and I draw back with my eagle sight. I say hello to the floor and loose an arrow.
Totally just goes.
Good toad.
Yeah.
Longbow. No.
And as your arrow flies, it just hits way too low, and it actually thunks into one of the perch guards, but just by accident. Not downing him, but like he's like, ah! Looks around, confused, still fighting. You can only shoot once per turn at level 2, right?
Yep.
All right, you tried.
Because God forbid you could use a bonus action. I could stab somebody, but I can't shoot again.
You can only use a bonus action to stab somebody with a blade if it's light, and you attack with a light weapon. Like a short sword and a dagger. But, that being said, Nevitz, Rollo, Aisling, what do you guys do?
I go back about, I like step back about 10 feet or
Sure.
jump back or whatever it is, about 10 feet, and whip at the squirrel in front of me again, trying to fend him off.
Sure thing. What are you attacking with?
My whip.
My whip. Are you doing the flame or just?
They jumped back 10 feet, so I don't know what else I'm hitting him with.
I just don't want to control your action. Whip. You rolled a 20. That hits. And you exchange blows. He rolled a 22 as an opportunity attack. As he goes to slash at you, you manage to whip him around the arm, dealing quite a amount of damage with that thorn whip, stopping his blade from sinking all the way into your chest. The tip just slightly making it like just past your clavicle and scratching you for like a measly 3 damage. But just begins to bleed a little bit as you deal a sneaky 11 damage because Rollo is right there helping you. He looks badly bloodied on his last breath, barely standing, barely fighting. With that being said, is there anything else you wish to do on your turn?
Can I move back the rest of my move, kind of positioning myself behind Rollo to support her, but so that I'm not in any more direct fire?
You just step away from the bandit, taking cover behind her, but readying your whip. Sure thing. Nevitz, Rollo.
So, am I still like on top of the guy? Or?
Yeah, he's like knelt, holding on to the blade of your rapier as you twisting his shoulder. Yep, you're right before him.
I don't want to kill him. Can I just knock him out?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll like a non-lethal. It's the same thing with your rapier, but it's non-lethal. As you pull out the blade, turn it like with a what do you call this, Hunter? What do you call the butt of a sword? Pommel.
Pommel.
Yeah.
Pommel.
20 hits. Just hit him with a pommel. Roll damage, even though I'm pretty sure you're gonna. Yeah, that does it. Yeah, 2 health left. I just want to see. As you just knock him unconscious and he falls to the floor. Anything else you want to do on your turn? So remember, you have like sneak damage, technically, because Ashling's
but
beside
already
you.
used my action.
I'm just saying. Just remember, you have sneak while Ashling is near him. Anyways,
Gotcha.
anything else on your turn?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Nevitz, the music just keeps growing more intense around you.
How is Magnus looking?
Oh, he is looking just fine. He's used to combat. A few dents and scratches and ruffled feathers here and there, but like he's handling those blows quite well. Parrying, he looks fine.
All right, I take like a quick glance at Magnus. See that he looks like he's handling the big.
He looks
pretty well,
66
and then I'll just-
HP out of 70.
Oh my gosh! And I'll just shoot
fine.
a ray of frost at the other bandit over here.
Sure thing. Go ahead and aim that.
Wow. Wait, what? Show spell description? That's a thing now.
Yes,
Ooh.
it's I updated. What's funny? So as you concentrate on the frigid beam of blue-white energy, you send it streaking toward him, but unfortunately, he just manages to duck at the last second as it hits the floor behind him, shattering.
Shooting from above on the roof is a bit more difficult than it appears to be. You don't get a clear sign. You don't get a clear view of like the person's shoulders, the way they're moving, what direction they're about to move in.
Yeah, and that's a
So, like, I
cantrip.
aim
So
at where they're standing and they walk somewhere else.
and that's a cantrip, so I don't make you roll for a chance off, right? Yeah, no, it's only level spells that you get the chance of wild magic.
And if I use, and that's assuming I use the wild magic search.
It's always level.
To get
It's always leveled spells though, so cantrips are safe. Not enough energy disturbed, not enough of the weave disturbed to trigger chaos. All right, you did that. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's my turn.
Sure. You see the brigands start to like spill, spill into the city. Some of them are like raiding houses and escaping with like armfuls of plunder and treasure as they escape. And others are making the way up the elevator, almost out of sight at this point. You see like these large brutes pulling the ropes by themselves as like parties of like 4 or 5 bandits make their way up. This band over yonder that you were trying to hit, he dodges your ice attack and he just kind of sneers at you, puts away his dagger and begins running after the plundering other parties to rejoin them. He doesn't wish to die here and he's quite injured, so he's going to start retreating. Meanwhile, Pavarad and the brute are facing off each other. He seems to be keeping him in place. I'm gonna roll damage, but you guys can go ahead with your turns.
Would I have time to do a ready to action to get advantage on shooting that rope? Or would they
That's
be
not how
gone
ready
by
to
then?
action works. You don't get advantage on shooting a rope. Your ready to action is just like I hold my action till later in the initiative roll. I use my reaction to like react to a condition. That's what ready to action is. You can get help from somebody else if somebody else in
So
the party
there's
helps
a
you.
rope. There's a rope somewhere. Sorry, I missed this somewhere in the description that was given.
So you see.
Are you still
As,
here with me?
as more of the brigands pick off the scattered perch guard in the distance, they begin pushing toward freight elevators operated by pulleys and rope in order to make their way up toward the canopy.
I am still up here.
Oh, okay, I
can-
see, Pablo, I see. Yeah, then, yeah, for sure. I didn't realize it was patient. Yeah.
Can I send Flare to go and burn the ropes?
Sure. So, as Pavel, you assume a meditative stance and you pull the rope, waiting for the right moment.
Well,
What is
actually, I was gonna actually see if I could just borrow Nevitt's glasses to see a little better. Help from someone else. I'm not gonna waste my turn doing nothing if I could just do it now.
Nev, it's up to you.
Does that count as a help action?
Sure. It's gonna be an action on your turn, though. You're gonna use your action on your turn.
I'm not doing that.
You're not
You're not
doing
taking my
it.
shiny glasses.
How about we share them, Nevitz? How about you have one on your left eye and I'll take one on my eye.
No.
No. Oh. What if I give you a shiny?
Just shoot your bow.
Fine, Nevitz.
Second turn, 6.
Before you shoot your you shoot your bow. You shoot your bow aiming for the distant target. Arrow goes about whizzing throughout the canopy, and you manage to clip the rope. You see it kind of shake and the thread. It's still intact, but it's straining. It's like frayed and straining. The bandits below are like, they're like grabbing onto the ropes, like, oh god, what was that? And they look up, they're like, oh no. Ashling, you sent forth your Ember Bat. I guess I'm gonna roll for that because you don't have access to sheets.
No, unfortunately. I've tried so many times. I can't get it.
You could just hold an action to attack after everyone else has attacked. It's basically the same thing as going last, but with advantage.
It's not the same because holding an action requires a condition. Flare flies forth. She rolls 17 on dexterity as she managed to dodge the various slings and chaos of battle. She goes toward the rope and she starts like chewing on it, and she sees a little bit of flame on it, assisting, dealing 1 damage to the rope. It frays further, and you see that the entire platform begins to like sort of tilt as the rope begins to like extend. Rolo, it's your turn.
I guess I'll assist with that.
How?
Can I throw my spear? Not my spear, my rapier at the rope to probably just assist it to go
You can
faster?
certainly try. It's gonna be a pure dexterity roll. Whatever is your 120 plus whatever is your dexterity modifier. As you just take your rapier. It's not a thrown weapon, but you try.
Does
Yep.
it 10 do?
Do you have daggers?
I don't.
Okay.
I
Just
rapier
you know,
and bite.
daggers and weapons that say thrown on them are much better at throwing than just your sword. And as it shows, 10, you throw your rapier, and you watch as it does a few loops around, misses the rope by like a few feet, and then you just watch it disappear down the tree and into the abyss below.
Oh
You
crap.
mean the floor, right?
No, into like the fray elevators. If you look here, they're like it's somewhere below. You're not sure where it is out of sight at this point. I don't want to overtell information. You threw your sword, you missed, and it's like it's somewhere below, and now you're without a sword.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Quick question. What level of the tree are we on?
You are like right below the canopy where the council's plaza is. You've made your way down between the bows and the plaza.
Right. I still have movement, right? Because I haven't moved.
Yeah, you still have movement. You are like here-ish.
Great. Can I get to Magnus?
Yeah, you
By
can
gliding?
you can glide, exactly. You can leap off the building and use the glide ability to get about 10 feet away from Magnus, yeah.
Alright, great. When I get 10 feet away from Magnus, I'm going to tell him they're going after the councils.
How today, brother? That's very unfortunate. Oh, come here, big guy. And he just takes the pommel of his like halberd and then just stabs his
Magnus,
toe.
you shouldn't throw him so he's exactly... He goes 5 feet by me, and then he lands just
Good, yeah,
outside of my
catch!
reach.
And he just cleaves and like clips the guy and just starts pushing him towards you as this guy is now between you and him, flanked. But that's his action, pretty much. He didn't get attacked that turn.
What's up, rat bitch?
Just turns to look towards you. You just see his scarred face. One of the eyes is like cataract from the flame. He just goes, you. And that means, and looks towards Nevitz. You.
He knows me.
You burnt him.
You're unmistakable.
Actually,
Nevitz, you're a savage.
who did burn him? Was it you who set him on fire, or was it like Pavo
I
set him
set
on
him on
fire?
fire.
That was Pavel.
He points toward whoever set him on fire.
Between me and Pablo,
He
yeah.
points toward whoever set him on fire, because here I don't remember, but he remembers. He points toward Ashling, is like, you. We got a scorch settle. No, move out of the way, shorty.
No, you. I have brain damage. No, it was that one.
Well, no, because Pablo put the oil on the ground and I used my magnifying glass to light it.
Yes. So it was you. Congratulations. Your arch nemesis.
So, Pavo, he
He's way over
he
there.
takes his giant mace and he just like baseball bats you undercut for like 9 damage as he bludgeons you and tries to toss you out of the way as he begins to like charge toward Ashling. You take 9 bludgeoning damage.
Done.
And he begins to charge past you. You can take an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shot in the back.
Actually,
You are dead.
Magnus takes an attack of opportunity as well.
Shot in the back by brothers.
What's his AC? I actually don't remember.
Not 22.
Not 22. Yeah. 7 plus Magnus aids you with a 5 for a total of 13 damage. That he shrugs off and he just goes with you later, and he tells you, I got a scorch settle, and he begins to charge toward you, Ashling. But he still takes that 13 damage. That's damage.
I realize I left my toad all alone on the roof.
Probably for the best.
I hope so.
Stomps towards you. That brings us to this guy's gone. This guy's run away to plunder.
I just have the giant mouth left.
Well, him and like the perch guard is handling the rest around you right now. They're kind of holding off. Magnus kind of joins them to hold off the rest of the encroaching horde. You pointed out that they're making their way to the canopy, and Magnus just kind of gives you a nod and disappears into the fray as he runs to defend the council and establish a perimeter there. So Magnus is going to use his movement to pretty much make his way up there. Top of the round then. Yeah, you guys, whoever wants to go first.
Wait, I didn't go last turn.
You didn't? Go ahead.
So seeing that this guy's charging, Nevitz' feathers sort of
Poof out.
get charged a bit with electricity
Okay.
as he casts Chromatic Orb while using Wild Magic Surge.
So that's advantage? What's what magic surge?
Yep,
Advantage?
it's advantage.
17 does hit.
Which does ice damage, cold damage.
Cold damage? Alright, cool. That's cool. So the chromatic orb shifts from lightning fire into a bluish flame that then slows down and concentrates through the orb, and then the orb begins to turned all frosty. You shoot out of your diamond as it weaves. It forms like two like bird-like figures that seem to twist around each other. These frosty cyan-colored figures that clash into his chest and leave like this spreading ice that begins to like spread up to his neck, and he's like, but he begins to like raise his club, trying to like, resist freezing over as he raises it above Aisling. Aisling, by the way, is looking very much hurt. She's bloody at this point.
Yeah, I took what, 9 damage? How much damage did I take?
You have 4 health left.
Oh boy.
You had 11 health to begin with, so like, yeah, you have less health than Nevitz.
Super low health because I decided to go with a random roll when we leveled up, and it was a poor choice.
That's Nevitz's turn, unless you wish to do anything else with turn.
That's my turn.
Okay, the rest of you, what's up?
I'm vibing with this music.
I know.
I'll go. Is it my turn? Or?
I'm just reading.
This Hulk is still like, he's still good.
He's a Hulk. That's a good name for him. He's wounded. He's badly hurt. You see the ice actually does take a toll. Begins to climb up his chin, but he's just so enraged and trying to get his revenge. Doesn't seem like he's running or anything.
I don't remember. Do I have any healing items in my bag? I don't remember.
Let me check your inventory real quick.
Can we get it from the witch?
I'll just check your inventory if you have it. Ooh, Aisling, you have a lot of things in your inventory. Holy shit! You have healing potion herbs. I don't see healing potions. I don't see healing potions in your inventory. Somebody else has them.
Boo. Boo.
Somebody else is holding onto them.
So he's charging towards me, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna. How far would you say he is? Like, cause Rolo and I are beside each other, right?
Yes. So yeah, you get sneak attack because you're kind of not flanking him, but you're right beside each other. He made it all the way to you, but he couldn't attack because he attacked Pavo on his turn to get him out of the way. But he's like raising his giant mace and about to bring it down. It's close enough for you to hit him.
Can I use my whip at his club or at his hand to try to disarm him?
You sure can. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll. Like,
you go ahead.
Yeah, I guess. I'll just play with myself then. Huh? Okay. Whip. You rolled a natural 20. A natural 20. You.
Yay, my sheet's up! Yay! Patience.
Nice.
Patience wins.
You hit him so hard with the whip, but you manage to actually cleave off a finger. You see it like fly through the air. He goes, ah! And like his mace flies like 10 feet away from him, out of reach, and he just got his bloody hand, just 4 fingers left on it. And he begins to like raise a fist at this point towards you. That's an attack action. Do you wish to do anything else?
I don't think there's anything I can do to heal a bit, can I? Do I? Wait, let me check my thingy.
You don't have any. A fighter and other classes usually have like second wind. Rogue, unfortunately, doesn't have any features that heal unless you take magic later on. If only we had a cleric in the party or something like that. No, healing potions are your only hope.
Well,
but
I have my Zan, which is kind of like a healing item. If
your what?
Correctly. I didn't write what it does. I have Zan, which is what I think you said was like a really, really like faint one. That was kind of like the byproduct of the first time I tried to use my healing potion herbs to make it into a healing potion. So it's like a healing tea.
I don't remember.
I have it written there. It's Zan. It's right underneath the healing potion herbs. If you're on my sheet, if you'd like to see it.
I don't remember. Oh, the stuff. Yeah, the stuff you bought from the sage, from the tender, right?
Well, because I had healing potion herbs that I can't remember if I bought them or if I didn't buy them. I got them from.
It's a tea. You'll have to brew it.
from Susan. I got them from Susan, and then when I tried to make them into the healing potion, it failed. But you said it made a very mild thingy, and I wrote it in here as a tisane.
Did you write what it
Like a
does
healing item.
at the moment? Because this was weeks ago. Did you write what it does? I'm gonna say
I'm
I'm
pretty
gonna
sure it's a very, very, very mild healing thing.
I'm gonna say you need an action to use it, and you've already used your action this turn to disarm.
Okay.
But on your next turn, if you still can, you can it's usually used for brewing, but maybe you feel like maybe you can benefit from the effect of the sand plant by just like putting it in your mouth and like diluting it and chewing on it. Maybe like something will happen, you know.
Well, for
But
now,
you already used
because I've already used my action.
Yes.
I'm going to retreat a little bit behind Rolo, trying to catch my breath a bit.
Sure thing. Rolo, Pavo.
Sorry, Rolo, I keep running behind you.
That's fine. Rolo, Pavo, what you do?
I want to attack the rat boy. Like, I'll bite him.
Bite? Go ahead and roll
Yeah.
bite attack.
Like, I want to prevent him from coming closer.
You're right, because you don't have your sword.
One.
Yeah, you just sleep on him all feral-like, and you start biting him. He's still holding onto his one arm. He's like, you just bite his ankle. He goes, ah, bloody. Roll for damage 4. That's perfect lethal. You start like clawing and biting at him. He's like, ah, God, and then like you describe your action. How do you want to do this?
So, did you say I bite his ankles?
How do you want to do this? You killed him. How do you want this?
I wanna leave because he had his fist up, right? So I'm gonna like run at his arm and just gnaw at it as much as I can.
Death by finger decapitation.
Right. All right.
Is it death? Oh, he dies. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay,
That's what I'm saying. How do you want to do this? Because he had 4 health left and you rolled 4.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought I'd be like just never forget. Well, if he dies, I go neck. Like I pick up instincts and I'll be like, yeah, I'll go for the
You
neck.
just you give into your feral instincts. A little bit of that Vulpin blood shows as you see.
Go for the jugular.
Yeah, just going for the jug, and you just hear him like let out a very brief scream that gets cut off, like just like a as he falls back, and you dig into him, and a few moments of flying crimson ends it all.
Hey, you're red now.
I feel a bit like sad because I know that this was wrong. Dude, I should be feral, but like.
Just
Yeah.
lies there like, oh. Oh, and as he dies, you watch like he begins to like shrink because he was under an enlarged
He's
spell.
actually dead, right? Because I'll double tap his body.
I mean, he doesn't stir anymore, and his throat is open, and he begins to like shrink down as whatever spell was upon him dissipates because it's no target anymore for the spell. Just begins to shrink down to like medium size.
Like Fenrir when he dies.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna take his eyeball, put it in the little pouch.
Barbaric. All right. You do that. You wanna roll me like survival to see how well you harvest it. It's an eyeball. You'd be surprised.
Can I get advantage because I have talons that are perfectly suited for ripping eyeballs out of faces?
I'll allow it.
God.
Nevin's watching.
Advantage. Yeah, it's just one quick motion.
Pavel like comes over, you see him look like an actual predator, just gone, eyeball gone. Like where eyeball? Not in face anymore, somewhere.
Rolo, do you have any weapons left?
I have to go look for my rapier.
Hey, do you want a spear, Rolo? I got like 3 of these things dangling around.
Sure,
No,
I'll take a spear for now. But can I go look for it, or is it? I want to go look for it.
So
Look like it went
you
kinda
the spirit that didn't battle, kind of scavenging below with bloody hands. You're rummaging through the breeze, the broken cars and such.
You're going robotic, Tom.
Am
That's
I
okay.
back? Am I back?
I was good for me the whole time.
Am I back,
Yeah.
dude?
Yes.
I think Hunter, you're going robotic. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, I see it. Yep.
Yeah. So you rummage with like bloody hands. You rummage through. Go ahead and roll me like investigation as you try and find your sword.
Okay. Let me look for it.
It is lost.
Lost? Oh no.
You can't find it. It takes you. You take like 5 minutes searching through the debris. There's just so much chaos. You see spears, arrows, and even like rocks thrown from slings litter the floor all around you, and still rain upon both the guard and the bandits as the sides begin to kind of disperse. Laden with spoils of the raid, the bandits struggle to fight and begin to retreat. It seems like your action helped kind of rally the guard, and now a huge squadron of them are swooping in. Avant-garde arrived from the upper branches, led by Magnus. As they begin to retreat, you hear a victorious cry that goes up along the walls, and you can't. In all that time, you were rummaging around and you just can't find your sword.
Can I look for a similar one, possibly that was dropped during the fight? Or will I find no luck? I'll find.
With a 7 investigation, you find like a bandit's spear, and you find another bandit's sword that at some point was like city forged, but is now like chipped and dull. It will serve as a short sword, but it's not the same. It's like you pick it up, doesn't have the same balance. It just feels wrong, and it's all dingy. But it will serve. It's a little bit curved and awkward, but it will serve. Do you want me to add that to your sheet, or are you good?
Could you please? Because I don't know how to adjust the damage and all that.
That's fine. It's the same damage. It's just aesthetically. It's not your sword, It just
Yeah.
short sword.
As
It's
for like the blood and all
also,
that,
it's not a finesse weapon, I believe.
Short swords are finesse.
They are? Oh, the
Could
short.
be.
I'm looking at a short bow. That's why. There we go. It's on your sheet now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can see like while your rapier was dealing 1d8 plus piercing, this one is 1d6. It's a little bit dingy, but it will do for now. I'm gonna uncheck your rapier until you find a replacement on your sheet. That way it doesn't take weight and you don't have it as an option for attack. The rest of you, as you hear this victorious cry go up along the walls, you see Magnus. He gazes down at the raised and ramshackled caravans with a look of steely determination. "We have wounded here," he exclaims, rallying the troops. "Send for healers!" Having fled into the forest, the scene left in the bandit wake is one of broken merchant carts and wounded people. Birdfolk and humblefolk alike are injured and frightened. What do you do?
I want to help him. Help him collect
How?
others that were injured that can't walk. Shoulder.
The rest of you?
I go back to the children's house and I go and check on them.
Have
I'm gonna
been
go.
safely sheltered in the cellar. You go to knock at the door, and you see beneath the door, in that space between, a little flower peeks out, blooms, and from the bloom a little bee comes out, hovers a little bit, goes back to the flower. Flower goes back. Here, as the door opens. Yes. It seems like the bee was like acting like some sort of a scout. "Is it done?" says Mother Thistle.
Yes, it's done. You guys can come out now.
Okay. I heard him call for healers. I'll go do what I can. Do you mind helping? And she passes by you. You start to see like this greenish natural energy ebb from her fingertips as she begins to channel healing spells and see to the wounded. The rest of the staff starts to make their way up from the cellar, and children, frightened but safe, are kind of assemble into a little ring group, and the staff again does like a little tally to make sure everybody's here. Meanwhile, Mother Thistle begins to like cast healing spells on whoever she can find, among other healers that come down from the canopy. Anybody else providing aid?
Yeah, I'd like to go around and do some light medicine.
Sure, you and Rolo
Any of
both.
the wounded.
Yeah, you find some wounded. You find like as the wounded and the injured are being tended to, you find one. Yeah, sorry, it's getting late. And you do anything special? Like you bandage them up. You do what you can.
Yeah, I take out some cells from a healer's kit and I bandage them up.
Yeah, right. Because you have a healer's kit, right? You find unconscious folk and healer's
Give
kit.
them some toga weave to calm the nerves.
They would gladly take it. They seem shell shocked and shaken, and one of them is like, "What's this?" Just, oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I would hate to clip that first 3 seconds accidentally. Oh lord. Oh, what's this?
imagine if he doesn't know what to do because he never saw like pipe.
Oh, he
whatever.
just eats
Yeah.
it.
What are you doing? Like he blows into his like. But yeah, as you guys give aid and tend to the injured, you hear. Sorry.
Nevitz doesn't know how to help in this situation, so he's kind of just looking from the rooftop. He like walks, like, he walks around just looking like in each and every direction.
You pass by a few injured people. The sight is dismal, especially for Humblewood. You've seen injured before, but these bandits didn't spare these aristocrats, and a few of them bear pretty deep cuts and grotesque wounds left. You see the blacksmith's shop has been like ransacked. A few of the weapons have been stolen, and shields are laying dented on the floor, and just the whole place seems to be in shambles. Meanwhile, the blacksmith is like walking around. He has like a hammer, and you see like fresh blood is on it. He's been fighting too, and he has like a wicked looking like talon scar across his face, and he's just picking up bits and pieces, still holding up the hammer, and you just see like just rage on his face. He really hates these guys for what they've done before, and especially now. As you walk around Nevitz more, you pass by a guard who just goes like, you right, child? Where are your parents? Come, I'll take you to your parents. Just where's mom and dad?
I'm fine. My guardians are nearby.
All right. Just gives you a double take and proceeds on.
Quickly walk off.
Yeah.
Evan walks as fast as little legs can go. It's like stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger.
Exactly.
I mean, he's dressed in uniform, but you have whatever. Yeah.
That's never stopped anyone.
Wholesome.
I see Nevitz through the window from where I'm sitting with the children, and I wave him over to come join me with the children.
Right.
I'll do that.
As you guys are in the scene, you're about 50 feet from each other in this zone. You see the guard captain, Magnus, immediately begin organizing a counterattack, hoping to press the bandits back. You hear him go, This cannot be allowed to continue. He's like swinging up on a nearby branch to make himself visible to the crowd. These bandits strike at our home, at our livelihoods, and at our dignity as citizens of the wood. Well, I say no more. The time has come for us to stop this menace. Come, once and for all. Who's with me? Like you listen.
I'm with you.
You listen as the crowd begins to cheer and clap as you volunteer and a few more volunteer. You see the blacksmith Core pick up his hammer and raise it high. Another mercenary with like a bandaged leg raises his spear. A minute owl in a feather helm dons his shield and raises his sword, and he's like, here. Joining the forming militia as you kind of lead them and the others follow. Magnus applauds you before turning to face the rest of you. What say you? Will you join us?
Yes, definitely.
I sit back and I just continue holding my shoulder and checking on the children and Nevitz.
Eventually, a few more healers show up. Ashling, you see that they have like the pin of the tenders, that branch, the circle with a branch through it, pinning their green cloaks. And as they make their way towards you, they inspect the shoulder real quick, analyze it. The healer before you is this Corvum crow person with very gentle eyes with gray patches beneath them. Elderly, but knows what he's doing, and very gently he starts to heal your wounds. You see this like greenish lichen begin to like grow around your wound and close it, harden, turn gray, and as it begins to like flake off, you just see like a little scar left behind. But your injuries heal. As I'm gonna go ahead and give you 2d4 plus 4. As he heals you for 8 hit points, which for you is all your health back.
Oh, I only have freaking 11 hit points.
Just kind of, the lichen flakes off, and there's a little scar left behind from battle, but the pain ebbs away, and he just nods, and the healer proceeds to go and tend to others. Magnus goes, yeah, go ahead.
As he walks away, I raise my voice and I shout my gratitude as he moves along.
Yeah. Magnus goes, "You have fought valiantly this day. Who else will join us on this push to drive out the bandit menace once and for all, and more join?" I'm guessing, does anybody not join is what I'm asking.
I do want to join, but I kind of don't want to bring attention to myself of being a child that joins this.
Magnus,
So
Magnus, same as the other guys, kind of treats me as a child. He doesn't expect you anything. He doesn't expect children to join. You can probably sneak yourself into the party with this.
Yeah.
But
Having been with Nevitz, I take his hand and I walk outside to join the rest of the party, so he doesn't have to name himself. He just joins me. Are you good? Are you okay with that, Nevitz?
Could I talk to Magnus for a second?
Sure. I mean, eventually he begins to like issue commands for his lieutenants to make preparations for this push. They're going tonight, now, while the bandits are on the run, while the track is fresh. But you guys have like a half an hour to an hour of preparation. People are gathering their weapons, whatever they can carry. He issues commands to his lieutenants to gather groups here and there, making himself available for you to talk to. Just holds up his halberd, still in his armor, polishing off a few flecks.
Could I cast Bewitching Gobble to possibly convince Magnus for a snazzy rapier?
Let's do Pavel's thing first, and then you can approach him. Okay.
Okay.
Magnus,
brother.
What were they doing in the upper level?
They seem to have wanted to reach the council. God knows what they wanted to do. I imagine just more of
Did you
this.
Take the vault?
Did you? The what?
Did you make sure nothing was taken?
It is still too soon to tell. We're still investigating the damages, and we're seeing to the wounded first, and we'll have to handle the rest in time. I will designate people.
Brush off. They have routes we don't know of.
Well, and he looks at the.
We are likely leading civilians to their utter demise.
We are knights. We know how to fight for our homes. We've been doing this for years. These people know what they're doing and what they're risking. If they perish tonight, they would have fought with honor to defend their homes.
Well, hopefully this isn't what they want.
He didn't make anybody join. He asked who wants to, right? It's a militia. People are angry. People want vengeance. People want to end this menace.
I don't suppose you have a secret trove of treasure somewhere, brother, do you?
For what?
For retribution.
I don't understand, Hunter. Are you asking for like a reward?
No.
What retribution?
That is all.
No, I want to know what you're asking.
I'm asking him if he's ready to do what needs to be done.
Yep. Born ready. I serve with pride, acting as the purchase first line of defense. Don't worry, brother. I'll be just fine. I've been through worse. This armor here, tink tink. There.
I'd like to question how they made it so far up the tree.
I suspect they've been here all along, among us.
Among us.
Among us.
Among us.
I believe that they had some aid from the wretches down below. But, again, I want to deal with things one thing at a time. Tonight we strike. We end this menace. At least push them back. Then we investigate the source of their incursion. But he lets you know that they probably had help from like the poorer districts, where they could have blended in amid the roots, where perch guards are thinner, essentially. Okay, the thing I wanted to do with jungle, but whatever.
Rolo.
You seem to recall the letter that Chungo like showed you, the one where that said, "All is forgiven if join us tonight," and like things just begin to click.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Rolo, did you have a question for Magnus?
Guile.
Well, we fought. Well, I'm gonna be kind first to see if I can convince. But we fought bravely, and I think we have a very, very good victory here. Would you say you have?
Now with that blade, you don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, sacrifices have to be made. I mean.
Yeah, I will not have you fighting with that dingy piece of garbage. Yeah, Bushman, he orders one of his lieutenants. Give me your blade. No, don't argue with me. Give me your blade. And you see he pulls out this finer blade. Still not your own, not the same balance, but it's city forged and will probably serve you well. It has the crest of Elderheart on its pommel. Yeah, arm yourself. We'll need it.
Thank you, guys. This will do for now. We'll assist you definitely for this fight.
I believe short swords are both light weapons, so you can literally wield one in each hand and attack with both. One soldier sword, one shitty sword.
Thank you. I have a quick question. Outside of we end at 10, right?
I mean, I think we should, because I don't want to keep Hunter past 11. It's 11 where he's at.
Got it.
Yeah.
Combat.
We do be doing a big thing here.
Yeah, it's also like I don't want Chungo to miss on stuff, and this was a fun session. I had fun. Combat. I'm trying getting combat to kind of matter. You guys beat the guy, the reoccurring guy. She took his eyes out. What are you going to do with that eye, I wonder?
I'm gonna toss it to the bandit captain who's leading the bandits.
That's pretty intimidating. I mean, that's fair. That's pretty intimidating.
Then I'm gonna rip his eyes out.
It's her.
It'll be him when I'm done.
That doesn't make sense. What are you gonna pin a dick to her? Like, Andrew, you're the funniest. Like,
There is a way to do that, but I don't feel like you have the time or the skill to do that.
I'm gonna beat her so bad I'm gonna make her trans. Like,
what? No, that's not what I meant.
That's what it sounded like.
What did you mean? What? That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
I was just joking at that point because I forgot it was a woman.
Yeah, it's Benna. The person that knows Trent.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that Vulcan lady, that frickin'
The
is
fox girl
a
keeps
tank.
running away because she's a coward.
So Benna Sheridan is a servant. The fox lady is wow, the Sheridan and Meriden. That's funny. They have like similar last names. And then the fox lady is her name. You would know it. Her name. Do I seriously not have her? Anyway, Frey Meriden.
Yeah, Frey Meriden.
Frey Meriden and Benna Sheridan. That's funny. Maybe that's why they're friends. But yeah, this was fun. I'm gonna say like we're gonna end session with you guys like preparing for this march onto in following to follow in their tracks, and we'll have Chungo join us. I don't know where Chungo was in this time, but it's very in his character not be for this fight because probably doesn't want to hurt his old friends, right?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just know Trent vibes. Right. Those bandits, I'm just gonna say, those bandits that you guys casted are being put in shackles and are put in the town jail. Probably interactable later. But, yeah. Any other questions before, No?
No.
Yeah, that's
Have
fine.
fun.
You can send me the picture of your mount, and maybe you can use it next session. Because that scorpion is still waiting for you in the scorpion
Yeah.
stables.
Right?
Right. I'm glad to see that the macro works, Lorian.
Wait, what?
The macro force magic surge. I'm glad to
Oh
see
yeah,
that works.
it's great.
Yeah. The only thing is, while you can heal up and perhaps short rest, you cannot recover spell slots before this fight. Because you're going now, and so good job with.
Yeah. I could use sorcery points, but yeah.
You could. You are a sorcerer. All right. I'm gonna cut recording here. It's gonna be a pretty short episode.